Hi friends, it's Taylor. Welcome back to my channel. I feel as though I went onto YouTube at some point at the beginning of this past week and all of a sudden it just hit me. Everybody is getting ready to go back to school. I honestly hadn't even fathomed the fact that like, oh my gosh, like I have to go back to school. And it's only like the beginning of July. I am hurt, I am upset, I am a victim of a hate crime. So in this video, I really wanted to sit down and talk to you guys about some of the things that they don't tell you before you go off for your freshman year of college. Things that I didn't know, things that I had to figure out on my own, things that I think are really gonna help you if you don't have older siblings or friends that tell you what's going on when you get to your university in about a month. These are things that are related to my school, which is the University of Florida, but I feel like for the most part this is going to transfer to a lot of different universities because most state universities are similar. If you have any other questions about what my life is like in college or specifically at UF, definitely ask me down below. I want to film a video where I sit down and talk to you guys, answering all your questions. I'm just waiting to get some more questions in, so keep asking them, boy. Here are some of my tips and things that they don't tell you when you're beginning your freshman year of college. The first thing that's really important when you're going into college is to honestly have a plan. When you go to your orientation for your college, most of the time they're going to have you set up your major and set up your first 4 core classes that you're going to take for your first semester at that university. And I have a lot of friends and I know people who came in and they didn't really figure out what they wanted to do until at orientation when they were forced to choose something. And that's definitely not the way to do it because odds are you're going to end up changing your major some point along the way in the next 4 years or however long you're at school. Everybody I know has changed their major once. I want to say like maybe 70% of the people I know have changed their major or have considered changing their major. So really think about what you love doing, think about what your college really excels at in their programs and try to come up with an idea of what you want to do in your 4 years. That way you get straight into your major and you start working on something that you are actually passionate about instead of going through a year and then realizing you want to change. So a lot of the times there are going to be specific clubs or organizations that revolve around specific majors, so you're most likely going to find some kind of organization with other students who are in your major, and this is a great way to network and meet other people that are in your major. Also, just really get completely immersed in what you want to do. So for me, I originally did start out as an advertising major. In the end of my freshman year, I switched to telecom, which I absolutely love, obviously, and through that I was able to get involved with WFT, which is a daily newscast that we produce straight out of the College of Journalism at UF. I've gotten involved with the Florida Sports Association. I've gotten involved doing a ton of different things just on campus and with the College of Journalism and telecom students in specific that help me not only network but also grow in the field I want to soon be in. Along with that, it's really important to make friends with other students that are in your major. This is really important because not only do you want to have people in your classes that you know, because odds are like most of your classes, at least going into college, are going to be lectures. They're very big. You're not going to be like meeting close-knit friends in your classes anyways. But the great thing about having friends that are in the same classes as you and on the same track as you is that if you have questions on what you're doing in class at that time, or you need help with an assignment, or you waited until 2 hours before the assignment's due online and your professor is not going to answer his email, so you need to ask a friend for help, it's a great way to have those resources so that you are not struggling. Another thing too is a little tip that I have that I kind of came up with is when you have friends that are in the same classes as you, you can share textbooks. Textbooks are hella expensive. I've never bought a brand new textbook because your girl trying to stay on that budget, like what you mean. I always rent my textbooks either from online, Amazon, Book Renter, or I rent them from the UF bookstore directly. And doing that, the prices are still not like super cheap. You know, I still end up spending anywhere between $30 to $90 for a textbook per semester. But if you have a friend who's in the same class, you split the price, you study together, you share the textbook. Because honestly, if you buy this textbook, it doesn't really do you that much good. For a lot of my classes at least, the textbook isn't the main source of information. The main source of information is lecture. The textbook's kind of just like a side item that we reference every once in a while. So to spend a ton of money on a brand new textbook that you're going to use for 3 months and never use again is completely pointless. And I don't get the people who are like, I have to buy a brand new textbook because I really like to highlight and color and like really annotate my, like, no, you don't need to do that. That's not a necessity. You know what's a necessity? Food. And that money that you're spending on a textbook could also pay for some food later on, so like, I'm just saying, like. Another tip that I have for you guys is to really take advantage of all of the different resources that your college campus offers to you. Odds are you're paying a ton of money in tuition, and if you haven't done too much research on it, your tuition doesn't necessarily go straight towards your classes. It will go towards other things that you're allowed to use on campus. It'll go to the recreational centers, it'll go to leisure courses, things like that. And for me at least, you know, I didn't really know exactly what was on campus for me to use other than, you know, the libraries, dining halls, basic stuff like that. But let me tell you, colleges, at least UF, has a ton of different things for their students. Not only can you go use their gyms anytime you want, but they also have classes that they teach at the gyms. They do Zumba classes, they do cardio classes, they do cycling. I've recently gotten really into cycling at UF and signing up for those classes because they're free, and you pencil it in your schedule and it's right on campus, so you just change your clothes and you go, and it's a great way to get a workout in, and being around those other people gives you some motivation too, and it's free. I mean, essentially, like, you're paying for it in tuition, but like, it's free at the time. A lot of the times your university will put on events for students. There's this thing at UF called Student Government Productions, and they basically reach out to artists and they put on shows that are free for students to come. So last year they had Big Sean Lil Yachty come, they've had Lil Wayne come, they've had all kinds of people come to perform for UF students, and we don't have to pay money for tickets because it's already kind of included in our tuition. We have a thing called the Career Resource Center. Odds are on your college campus there's going to be a place where you can go and have someone look over your resume, or if you're looking for a job, they can help you try to find a job. There's even student legal services. If you find yourself in some kind of bind and you need legal help, there is a student legal service office that will help you with whatever you're dealing with. Different things are available to you so that you can use them as much as possible to get your money's worth, because like, college is expensive. Like, I know. It's also really important to figure out how you're going to be transported around campus and know your way around campus. At UF, the major form of transportation is riding scooters, but that doesn't mean that there aren't people who don't ride bikes and walk. It's just that we live in Florida, and to walk anywhere is literally like jumping in a swimming pool because you're going to be drenched in sweat. Throughout my college experience, my freshman fall, I did have a bike. The bike had both its tires stolen, and then it had its seat stolen, and it was just a mess. It was a nightmare. So then I started walking a lot of places, and then as it got hotter in spring, I couldn't walk, so I started taking the bus, the RTS bus, and usually there's a bus system that's free for students if you show your student ID at most campuses. So that's a way to get around as well, but the buses might not always go exactly where you want them to, so walking is still a thing. There are students who ride their bikes, there are people who skateboard, there are people who are on those damn Razor scooters scooting around campus, and I love that. That's my aesthetic. And then there are the people who ride the electric scooters. I have like a Wolf RX50. I absolutely love the thing. I ride it everywhere. Me and my friends joke about it being like our main form of transportation because we ride that thing everywhere we go. So definitely do research on how big your campus is and how you're going to get from like point A to point B, especially if you're on a giant campus like UF, because you don't want to be late to your classes and you don't want to, I don't know, be walking along sweating, because that ain't cute. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any other videos I make on my life at college. If you want to know more about my life at UF specifically, definitely ask me questions down below, and let me know what you want to see me do next for you guys. Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll see you in my next video. Putting that out there for you because, you know, life's a climb. The view can be great though if you make it. Literally just spent so long curling my hair, and it's dead, it's done for, it's cancelled, it's been unsubscribed, it's been blocked, it's been reported.